It is undeniable that this DS5 is different and is distinctive. But is it as distinctive and as groundbreaking as that original DS from the 1950s? You know, the one that actually made Citroen's name. And why would anybody go out and buy a Citroen when there are some serious rivals from German manufacturers? Oh, and did I actually just call this car a Citroen? It's not a Citroen, it's a DS. Let me explain. And where better to check out this car than in its homeland of Paris.
Tour à tour je te vois, tourner comme un vautour. Un tour et puis s'en va, sans mot dire chaque jour. Autour de moi tu cours, un tour et puis tu pars. Je vois tu fais tout pour attirer mon
Citroen's
regard.
posh DS range has jumped the mothership and has become its own standalone entity, like say Toyota begetting Lexus. The two are still related, sharing engines, platforms and underpinnings, but everything you touch is supposed to have a bespoke, more expensive feel. There's also not a single Citroen badge to be found on this flagship for the brand car. This is the first car with 100% DS branding, and it reinforces this identity change with these chrome sabres that run along the top of the wings, its high-up stance, that split rear window, and a new grille which has even more chrome. The whole look of this car is, well, it's a bit idiosyncratic. I'm wondering, could DS have been one of those committee decisions, you know, like where they make a concept without one person's singular vision on not just this car's shape, but even what kind of car this should actually be? I say this because what we have is not only a vague car brand, but with the DS5 we've got an amalgamated look with a mixture of high-roofed hatchback, a coupe and a sports estate. So which is it? It's certainly not a mainstream look. It purports to be an alternative take on the compact executive recipe, which is a brave move in a competing forum, and there are no guarantees for success. Inside, the feeling of a committee creation continues. It's as if everyone has had a chance to put their design in. DS says the cockpit was influenced by the aerospace industry, and this could explain the toggles and switches that line this impressive yet non-essential overhead console. The glass roof lies astride this construction, with blinds that can be opened or closed individually, and you sit cocooned between a high door and a tall transmission tunnel. Interior quality is essentially good, and there's plenty of kit offered on all three trim levels: Elegance, Prestige and DS Performance line. You'll find plenty of storage places, chic little details like this analogue clock, and while it's slightly disorganised, there's an intimate and emotive feel about it all. Accommodation in the front is fine, and there's sufficient legroom in the back, although the sloping roofline does limit headroom, and the high window line can make things feel a little bit claustrophobic in the back, making that glass roof pretty essential in my view. The boot has easy access, and while not as commodious as say a Mondeo, space is fairly good. Safety is also good. The DS5 comes with a complete 5-star Euro NCAP score and has plenty of standard safety equipment. From behind the wheel, the DS5 remains something of an oddity. It's nowhere near as much fun to drive as, say, a Jaguar XE or a BMW 3 Series, but nor is it as comfortable and cosseting like an Audi A4 or a Mercedes C-Class. Stiff suspension and large alloy wheels combine to make the ride almost uncomfortable, especially at low speeds, and any attempt to drive enthusiastically is going to leave you disappointed. However, get up to motorway speeds and the DS is reasonably smooth and quiet, and is an accomplished companion on those long motorway journeys. DS are staking a lot on this car. The salespeople tell us it's an aviation-inspired cockpit. The interior is meticulously built from the finest material, and it stands apart from any other premium car. Well, this is what they say, and this all sounds good, but could it be the marketing team picked up the baton after those designers had all gone home? There are plans to have DS-only dealerships in a bid to distance themselves from the mainstream Citroen, and real plan is to take sales away from Audi, Mercedes and BMW. Is this DS5 the car to do that? Well, my guess would be that those Germans have also test driven this car, and I don't believe they're going to be losing very much sleep over this. So, should you consider buying one? Well, I spent 5 days with this car, and after covering some big distances, the qualities on offer grew on me. Being in that cockpit became a pleasure. I started to get the look, and I genuinely respect the designer's ambitions. So before you head on out and go and buy that German saloon, why not go out and see if there's a DS dealer near to you and try out this distinctively French DS5.